Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to talk about my experience during Gamescom in Cologne yesterday. I had the chance to play Planet Coaster 2 for about 35 minutes and I tried to find out as much as possible. I already posted about what I found in the game in the official forums and on Twitter yesterday. And Aston Wolf already made a pretty nice overview and shared it with the community. So I just decided to talk about more about my experience yesterday at Gamescom, and I just put together all the things I have seen, and I am able to confirm that they are in the game when it releases. After my first impressions with photos from yesterday, let's start and talk about Water Coaster. There is a new water coaster in Planet Coaster 2, which is similar to Atlantica Super Splash from Europa Park. It also confirms turntables for coasters. I don't know if they are in every coaster. I just spotted them in the water coaster as I tried to build it. As we've already found out from other members of the community, there are also turntables in the log flume. I think for the log flume they look a little bit weird, but if you cover them with scenery and cover the edges, it will look nice, I think. The turntables are pretty special. They are just there are three versions in the game. One is that the coaster car enters, turns around and goes on straight backwards, but there are also two 90-degree versions, like you know them from Atlantica Super Splash. The coaster car is turned around and leaves the turntable in a 90-degree angle to the left or the right. I actually didn't build a whole water coaster because the time was so limited. I just tried out some things with it, and the splash zones just look pretty much the same as in Planet Coaster 1, but I'm not sure if those are already the final version. I actually think that Rudy Rankcamel just confirmed in his video that someone saw kind of an elevator for the log flumes. I haven't seen it myself, so I can't tell you anything about it, but I have high hopes that we get more special elements for water coasters or water rides, and of course for other coaster types as well. Next up is water and electricity. I took a look at the water and electricity facilities for the game. I think the biggest change is that you have to put down pipes and cables underground. They somehow reminded me of how you do it in City Skylines for those of you who already played Cities. I also saw water pumps and groundwater stations to get some water, I think. But there was also a water tower, which is a lot higher than just a regular water pump or something like this. And the electricity generators are in different sizes as well. So I saw some solar plants in, I think, 2 or 3 sizes. And you have to connect the generator with the coaster or the ride to make sure they get electricity. The next and really exciting feature for Planet Coaster 2 is seasons. I think I can officially confirm that seasons are going to be something in game. That's because there is a weather tab in the right corner where you can see a specific time frame during the day and the next couple days, which are showing the weather conditions and official season names like winter, spring, fall, and summer. And there is a new guest facility, the drying machine, which gives me a hint that it's important to make sure that guests can dry themselves after riding water rides, maybe in fall or spring, when the temperature isn't that high like in hot summers. So I'm really excited what this means for management gameplay and how this is impacting, yeah, guests actually. Time is running very slow in Planet Coaster 2. If I have seen it right, then 15 minutes of real life gameplay is 1 hour in game. This means for me that there is enough time to make decisions based on seasons and weather conditions. And yeah, I'm really excited about what this means for the overall gameplay. I think it won't make too much difference for sandbox mode, but in franchise or career mode, it will be definitely a big difference. And of course, hopefully a big challenge as well. The next thing I want to talk about is paths. As the last or the first deep dive and what we've seen from Frontier already is all about pathing and the way you place down paths. I tried out some things and I just found some little new features I really like a lot, because you are able to attach benches and bins to the pathing tool. So if you place down a path, the selected additions or add-ons will automatically being placed on the path you are placing. And if you try to place elevated paths, it's so easy. You just press shift and move your mouse up and down to set the elevation. And you not only can recolor the path textures. I think what I have seen, not every texture is recolorable, but I don't know if that's just blocked in the demo. And you can decide what railing you want to use. So the railing of the path is not connected to the path texture actually. Which is a nice add-on and a quality of life upgrade to just have more customizability overall. Let's talk about transport rides. I definitely saw the steam train, one of the steam trains, because we had 2 in Planet Coaster 1. There was one of these 2 types we already had. I'm not sure which one it was. But it's definitely in. And there is a bus style, a single decker bus style transport ride, which looks pretty much like a transport ride you would usually use on a parking lot or something like this. So I'm excited what else there is going to be, but they are looking pretty nice already. That's everything I can tell you about transport rides for now, because there weren't too much. Let's continue with terrain. Terrain is a big improvement for me personally, because I always struggled with the amount of textures we had within a biome. I don't know if it's based on the Gamescom demo or if it will be like that in the final game, but I don't know why they would change it, because we had 17 terrain textures available, so pretty much to choose from. And for me personally, that's an absolute game changer when painting down some areas and elements. I haven't seen snow or something like this. I don't know because it's part of seasons and weather, if this is going to be a thing. But when I think of dark rides or so, and I would need a snowy landscape, I don't know how to do it actually. But yeah, I'm excited what they are going to do with this, and I'm super happy that there are 17 different textures already in game, and you can use it. Let's continue with staff rooms. I have seen them in 3 different sizes: small, medium and large, and they look like staff rooms in Planet Zoo. They were empty for the moment, so there was nothing in it, but they were also no black boxes, so there is definitely room for some furniture. And I think in the final game there will be something in it. Last but not least on this slide, and as we already know from the deep dive, you can scale objects. I only tried it on non-grid objects, so I think that's the case, of course. But you can also put them together into a scenery group and scale them as a group. Let's continue with the coaster builder. We actually don't know much about it. I tried it out and built 3 roller coasters. Not completely, but I just wanted to figure out how it works. It actually looks pretty much the same as in Planet Coaster 1, but there are definitely some improvements. The biggest improvement for me was the smoothing tool, because it's moving backwards and forwards automatically as you smooth track parts. I wasn't able to spot anything else that is really exciting, but I had the feeling that it is in a pretty early stage somehow, because while building a coaster, there was definitely an option to change the amount of trains for that coaster type, and you could change it without closing down the ride. So maybe and hopefully switch tracks are definitely a thing in Planet Coaster 2. I also took a closer look to the stations, and the coaster stations don't look different from Planet Coaster 1, but I also have the feeling that this is not the final look they will have, because I just remember how much detail and effort they put into coaster stations in the first game, but they didn't seem very polished, so I think it's just a work in progress still for me. Yeah. But let's also talk about the water slide builder, because I tried it out as well. When building a water slide, you will start with an elevated platform. This platform is just placed down like grid pieces. It feels like the old path system, because you just place down square platform elements, and then you start building the water slide. First of all, you have to choose a beginning of the water slide. I only tried the body slide, so I had to choose from, I think, 4 beginning sections. The drop piece we saw in the trailer already, and some more, easier pieces that are not dropping down into a free fall. After you place it down on the platform, you are able to continue piece by piece, as you know it from the coaster builder as well. But the colored section, we already thought that it's going to be 1 meter by 1 meter, but the actual elements are, I think, 4 meters or 2 meters, and you then have 2 sections with 2 different colors. So if you place it down, you will later have the opportunity to flexi color I think 4 colors, which continue through the slide all the time, and they are repeating till the end of the slide. So for example, you have the first slide piece, which has a length of 4 meters. Then you have 4 areas or 4 different sections and 4 different colors, and you can choose which color you want for each section or for each meter. Yeah, so it's a lot easier to make colorful slides than with a coaster, where you always had to select the track piece, define a color, and then select the next piece of track and choose another color, and so on. I then took a look at the different pieces we have to build. There was a transparent tube, just regular slide pieces for curves with higher wall, like for banked turns, for example. You can choose on which side the higher wall should be. I have also seen high-speed slide pieces, so there is a difference between slower and high-speed pieces. And for me personally, the most important thing is that there is going to be actual run-outs, and not only ending the slide into a pool as we've seen it in the deep dive already. The runout is available in 2 options, a shallow one and a deeper one. I haven't placed down both of them, but they look pretty neat, so I'm really excited about building slides, even if I'm not too much into water parks. I didn't have the time to try out any other slides, and I don't know if there are runouts for bigger water slides. We will have to wait and see. Hopefully somebody else is going to post anything about it, but yeah, they look really good, and the building is really easy. What I've seen in another video of Frontier yesterday was that after you finished your water slide, you just place down an entry like on a coaster, but it also adds the exact height staircase to the platform, so it's not a piece by piece pathing down to the earth or ground. Now let's talk about volumetric terrain water. I had lots of questions about it on my Twitter posts, because I called it volumetric water. It's not that kind of volumetric water as in City Skylines, for example, where it flows down a river or something like this. It's much more like in Planet Zoo. So the big difference between Planet Zoo and Planet Coaster 1 was that water is just not a flat texture added to a hole in the ground. It's actually water, and you can see the water if you're viewing it with the camera from inside. I don't know if there are going to be any water effects, or you can actually get a real flow. But what I try to is edit the terrain around it, and it's locked like we know it from Planet Zoo already. So I'm not sure if they are going to change anything about it, but I'm excited what we will see in the future, and if there will be things like waterfalls and or actually flowing rivers will be a thing. But the water looks really nice. Before I go into my final thoughts on the game overall, I just wanted to talk a little bit more about general ride improvements. What I've tried out and what worked pretty well was customization with textures. For example, on flat rides, if you have a texture on different parts of the ride, you can choose what texture you want to use. So for example, with the teacups, you have, I think, 3 groups of teacups, 1, 2, 3, and you can assign a texture to every group. So it's there are so many options. You can imagine how customizable everything is. There are lots of textures to choose from, and what I've seen, there's a blocker icon, so there should be an option to use no texture and just use one full flexi color or color. The rides are fully flexi colorable, which gives you a ton of options to customize all of your rides. Next to the look of a ride, you can also decide the spin direction, if it's going clockwise or the other direction. And you have the possibility to assign stuff. So ride stuff is also a thing in Planet Coaster. I had to immediately think of the stuff at Disneyland. They are just moving around all the rides, that they don't work at the same ride for the whole day. I'm excited to see how it works out and how stuff is exchanging during the day. And there is priority queues going directly into the station. I placed down a priority lane to a coaster station and had the opportunity to put down the queue line directly to a regular path, so there is no connection to the actual queue as we had it in Planet Coaster 1. Yeah, it's a super nice feature, and there is also no big gates at the end or at the beginning of the queue, and there's no staff member working at this position as well. Before I finish with some final thoughts, I also wanted to mention that I just saw some new brands. There was Viva la Vegan, which we already know, but also the water drinks shop was renamed. I don't remember the name actually, but it's not called Pipshot Water in the second game. So I'm really excited if there is any more new brands are coming. I think as Gelato Bros were at Gamescom and you could pick some ice cream from there, Gelato Bros is also a new brand in-game. Yeah. That's it for now. That's everything I can confirm from playing Planet Coaster 2 yesterday. I have to say that I'm really hyped for this game, because everything I have seen so far looked really nice. I was a little concerned after the first deep dive, because I had the feeling that a lot is missing, but after playing the game, I have a feeling that we have only seen like 15 to 20% of the game, and it seems like it's very limited in the demo, and there is going to be so much new stuff and so many new opportunities to play with creativity, with coasters and so on, and seeing actual turntables in game made really high hopes that we get switch tracks and other elements for roller coasters. So I really can't wait to get my hands on the game in a private environment where I just can try out and build what I like to build, and not being in a hurry of a 15-minute time slot at Gamescom when people are watching over your shoulder. But the last thing I really want to talk about is graphics. I really love the art style of Planet Coaster, and Planet Zoo was, in case of graphics, so much better than Planet Coaster, and I had high hopes that Planet Coaster 2 is getting even better. Actually, the style and the look of the game is still the same, and the things we've seen so far didn't look too different from the first game. But if you're sitting in front of the computer on a 4K monitor and you just playing the game, it's smooth. It looks really, really good. It's not that colorful as it looked like in the stream, I think. But the overall graphics quality is really, really high, especially for the foliage and natural objects, I have to say. So I'm really happy with how it turned out. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say about the graphics overall in game. And the objects or the performance already seemed pretty good. I don't know what machines I was playing on and how strong they are, but yeah, it was really smooth. And what I heard, it is a pretty old build of the game, and there is lots of things missing, obviously. Sadly, I couldn't go back to Gamescom today, but I just wanted to talk about everything I experienced so far, and I hope you like what you've seen and heard from me. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day, have a nice weekend, and see you soon in my Planet Coaster 1 series. Thanks for subscribing. Leave a like and comment down below if you have any questions. Bye!